Your emotional intelligence is directly proportional to your success. Let's talk about EI today. The dictionary meaning of EI, or emotional intelligence, is the ability to manage both your own emotions and understand emotions of people around you. A Harvard study, research based, gave us techniques for mastering EI. So the study says only 10% of your success in life comes from your IQ, which is your intelligence quotient, and 90% of success in life comes from your EQ, which is your emotional intelligence. It's becoming a number one skill for thriving in work, relationships, and life. Here are some tips how you can increase your emotional intelligence. Number one on that is called the 1 second rule. When emotions are high and you're hit hard with the emotions, pause for 1 second, it says. Just that 1 second. You will see your shoulders, your whole persona is so tight on it because your emotions are high and you're breathing so fast. Give it a second. Just take one deep breath and see how it changes your thought process on it. Rather than answering anything in that high emotion state, take that 1 minute, which is called the 1 second rule. Take a deep breath and then move on and answer those things. Your mind will become calm and it'll be easier for you to understand what the other person is saying and easier for you to answer those things. That's emotional intelligence that you're trying to bring into your life. Second thing is master small talk. We've always thought small talk does not make sense, but sometimes small talk is where you start and then you build relationships. Then the deeper conversations start because you made that first effort of having a small talk. That small talk becomes a bridge to deeper connections. More the connection, more you are successful to get your task done on hand. The Harvard study gives us a technique called FORM to master these connections. Basically, it says FORM, which is F for family, O for occupation, R for recreation, and M for message. This is just to start connections with somebody, start that small talk on subjects. F, family. You can just say, oh, how's your family doing these days? Anything on occupation? What keeps you busy these days? Something on recreation you can talk. Are you doing anything this weekend? Anything fun coming up? It just starts that basic conversation with the other person where then you get into a deeper conversation. They start talking about something, you pick something from there. That's how your emotional intelligence with that person increases. The last one was message. If all of this is happening, you're making that small talk from these questions, then it can come to a message where you are actually interacting with them with some meaningful thoughts and meaningful message being conveyed. Strengthening your social skills by listening. Just take a minute and listen to the other person. We all are actually always ready to answer and give our thoughts on things, but give it a minute and see how your emotional quotient increases if you are listening to the other person. You might think that's kind of, just a simple task, but see how it works for you. There is another rule that Harvard gives here called 100-minute rule. What it says is that every week for about 100 minutes roughly, practice these three things. One is how to hold eye contact with someone. Learn and take a minute to see, can you hold somebody's eye contact? Just look at people and see deep into their eyes. Another thing is nod to people. When you are listening to the other person, give a nod so that the other person understands, yeah, you're paying attention, you're engaged with them. Ask more questions. If you're engaged and you're listening, you're going to ask more questions anyways. So that strengthens your social skills with people, which in turn increases your emotional intelligence. The last thing on this thought process is learn more emotional vocabulary. For example, it's a simple question on it. Rather than saying, that, oh, I'm feeling so bad about this. Actually, use a word. I'm really overwhelmed with this thought today. So what it does is it you pull it out, you say it, and it makes it 50% less intense. Check it out. That's what the research has been saying. Once you say out your emotion loud, you will actually see that it decreases the intensity of that emotion by 50%. So, the key point today that we discussed is increase your connection, emotional stability with yourself and with others. This is what is going to make you thrive in life.